Welcome to Deep Dive Podcast, episode number 7. Ever wake up just feeling like you didn't really sleep, even if you were in bed for hours?
Right, or you hit that wall mid-afternoon.
Yeah,
Need that coffee fix just to function.
exactly. And you just, push through. We often treat sleep like it's optional, right? Like a luxury we can just cut back on when life gets busy.
Yeah, a very common mindset.
But what if that's actually like undermining everything, your health, your focus, maybe without you even realizing it?
That's the core issue we're digging into.
So today, our mission, well, it's to unpack the really profound, sometimes surprising ways lack of sleep messes with your mind and body. We've looked at a whole stack of sources, health institutions, sleep docs, the lot. The goal is to get a real handle on why sleep isn't just nice to have, it's, well, foundational.
Absolutely foundational. I mean, think about it. Sleep is right up there with air, water, food. It's that essential.
Wow, when you put it like that.
And it's kind of scary, but figures suggest up to 70 million Americans are sleep deprived. 70 million.
It's huge.
And we're not just talking about pulling heroic all-nighters. Even missing, say, an hour and a half, that can have a real measurable impact on how you feel, how you perform.
You need 90 minutes.
Yep. And what's key, like you said, is that sleep isn't just off time. It's super active. Every organ, especially your brain, is busy doing vital work.
Like what kind of work?
Restoring nutrients, repairing tissues from the day's wear and tear, and crucially, clearing out waste products, getting you genuinely ready for the next day.
Okay, that definitely flips the script on sleep just being rest.
Yeah.
So if it's so active, what's like the most vital thing happening while we're out? Let's get into the science a bit.
Well, fundamentally, it does a few big things. It helps conserve energy, obviously.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Sure.
But then it's repair time, fixing muscle, dealing with little injuries, and then the brain stuff. That's where it gets really fascinating. Resting, reorganizing, filing away memories.
Reorganizing, like tidying up.
Exactly. Think of it like your brain running the dishwasher overnight. There's this system, the glymphatic system. It really ramps up during deep, non-REM sleep.
Glymphatic, okay.
And it literally power washes your brain, flushes out all this metabolic junk that builds up when you're awake, including nasty stuff like beta amyloid proteins.
Wait, beta amyloid? Isn't that linked to Alzheimer's?
Bingo. Strongly linked. So without enough deep sleep, it's like leaving those dirty dishes, those toxic proteins, piling up in the sink night after night.
Yikes. Okay, that's a powerful image.
And then you've got REM sleep. That's more about memory consolidation, processing emotions, strengthening connections between neurons, making sense of things.
So different stages do different jobs.
Precisely. And if your sleep schedule is all over the place, you mess with melatonin, your sleep hormone, and you boost cortisol, the stress hormone, which, causes its own set of problems.
This brainwashing thing, the glymphatic system, does that only happen during sleep? Or does some cleaning happen when we're awake?
Great question. Some clearance happens, yeah, but it ramps up massively during deep sleep. It's way, way more efficient, though.
So if sleep is choppy, or you don't get enough deep sleep, that watch cycle isn't finishing.
Pretty much. You get that buildup, which is exactly why chronic lack of sleep is such a worry for long-term brain health.
Okay, our brain's literally not getting cleaned properly. That's unsettling. So if we're shortchanging this whole process, what are the immediate things we might notice? The stuff we brush off as just a bad day.
Right, and they're definitely not minor. First, the obvious one, fatigue. Just feeling drained, maybe by lunchtime, yawning all the time, waking up feeling like you haven't slept.
Yeah, hits the motivation too.
Totally. Affects your ability to do stuff you enjoy, let alone chores. Then, poor balance and coordination.
Seriously, like physically stumbling.
Literally. You might feel clumsy. There was a study in 2021 linking poor sleep to changes in your gait, how you walk, higher risk for accidents, falls, reaction time slows down too.
Oh, never connected clumsiness to sleep before.
It's connected. Also, forgetfulness, big one. That where are my keys? Feeling or struggling for a word. Often that's sleep deprivation. Your brain just isn't processing info efficiently.
Okay, that feels familiar.
Both REM and deep sleep are vital for learning, for locking in memories. Students pulling all-nighters, they often bomb the test anyway because their brain didn't get the sleep it needed to actually learn the material.
So cramming is counterproductive if you skip the sleep part.
Exactly. Which leads right into impaired judgment. Your neurons are tired, overworked. They just don't fire optimally. So your thinking, your decision-making, it suffers. You're more likely to make risky choices.
Risky how?
Well, get this, and this is pretty chilling. Being awake for about 20 hours, it impairs your driving as much as having a blood alcohol content of 0.08%.
Whoa. Seriously, that's the legal limit for drunk driving in most places.
Exactly. Legally drunk, just from being awake too long. Drowsy driving causes thousands of crashes and, tragically, fatalities every single year.
Wow. That really puts it into perspective. That early commute after a late night suddenly feels very different. It's not just feeling tired, it's actual impairment.
Measurable, dangerous impairment. And finally, the short-term list includes mood changes. Irritability, short temper, feeling emotionally fragile. We all know that feeling.
The wrong side of the bed feeling.
Right. But chronically, your amygdala, the emotion center, gets hyperactive. And the prefrontal cortex, the part that regulates emotions, puts the brakes on, it becomes less active.
So it's like the accelerator's jammed on and the brakes are weak.
That's a great way to put it. You're basically primed for overreactions, feeling on edge all the time.
Okay, so it's not just feeling moody. My brain is literally wired differently in that moment.
Wow.
That explains a lot about why chronic sleep issues hit mood so hard. Okay, that's a stark picture of the immediate stuff. But the long game, what happens over years of this? What are the hidden health bombs ticking away?
Yeah, the long-term consequences are systemic, and they often build up silently. For mental health, chronic sleeplessness is tightly linked to depression, anxiety. People with insomnia, twice as likely to get depressed. And most people with depression, they have insomnia. It's this awful loop.
The chicken and egg thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Then neurodegenerative diseases. We talked about beta amyloid buildup. Chronic sleep loss accelerates brain aging, ups the risk for Alzheimer's, other dementias. It can even reduce neurogenesis, making new brain cells, and shrink your gray matter.
Shrink your brain.
Literally.
Literally measurable reduction in volume.
Yeah.
Your immune system also takes a big hit. You produce fewer cytokines. Those are like the signal flares for your immune response.
Okay.
And instead, you make more white blood cells, but it's an imbalance.
Yeah.
So you get sick more easily, colds, flu, and it takes longer to recover.
Makes sense. You feel run down, you get sick.
Then there's weight gain.
Yeah.
This one frustrates a lot of people. Lack of sleep messes with ghrelin. Your hunger hormone makes you hungrier and leptin. Your fullness hormone makes you feel less full.
Oh, great. A double whammy. Right. Plus, it boosts cortisol, that stress hormone, which encourages belly fat. So you crave sweets, carbs, and it's harder to lose weight even if you're trying.
So it's actively working against weight loss efforts.
Actively. And speaking of cortisol, overall higher stress levels. It's another vicious cycle. Stress ruins sleep. Lack of sleep boosts cortisol. Cortisol contributes to weight gain, heart issues, anxiety, even faster aging. Good sleep. Natural stress relief.
Lowers cortisol naturally.
Okay.
Your heart health is also at risk. Big time. Sleep deprivation is linked to high blood pressure, hypertensive heart disease, irregular heartbeats, higher risk of heart attack, stroke. Consistently getting less than 7 hours. It's just plain harmful for your heart over time.
Less than 7 hours is the threshold there.
Generally seen as the minimum needed to avoid these cardiovascular risks. Long term, yeah. Beyond that, other health issues pop up. Higher risk for prediabetes because of blood sugar and insulin resistance issues, thyroid problems, other hormone disruptions, even potentially decreased fertility.
Wow, it really touches everything. It really does. And, the appearance factor. Dark circles, puffy eyes, droopy eyelids, paler skin, even more wrinkles because that cortisol breaks down collagen.
So when someone says you look tired, they're actually seeing the effects of cortisol on your skin?
Pretty much. Your body's showing the strain.
Okay, you've painted a, frankly, quite scary picture of the long-term risks. But you hear people brag, right? I only need 5 hours to sleep when I'm dead types. Is that real? Are they genetic outliers, or are they just accumulating damage without realizing it?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Genetics can play a role in how much the immediate effects, like feeling foggy, impact someone day to day. Some people might feel they cope better.
Right, they function.
They function, exactly. But, and this is the crucial but, even if you feel okay, those underlying negative processes, the beta amyloid buildup, the hormone disruption, the immune system changes, they're likely still happening. That long-term deficit is still accumulating, silently.
So feeling fine doesn't mean you are fine, biologically speaking.
Precisely. Which brings us to, okay, how much do we actually need? There are pretty clear guidelines.
Let's hear them.
The National Sleep Foundation gives these ranges. Newborns, 14-17 hours, infants, 12-15, toddlers, 11-14, preschoolers, 10-13, school-age kids, 9-11. Teenagers' crucial time for brain development, 8–10 hours.
8 to 10 for teens. Wow, most aren't getting that.
Not even close, often. Then adults, 18 to 64, need 7–9 hours. Experts like Dr. Fieldberry Schaefer really emphasize a minimum of 7 hours for adults, and older adults, 65 plus, about 7 to 8 hours.
7 to 9 for most adults.
Okay. And yeah, research hints adults might cope better subjectively than teens, maybe women slightly better than men, but the reasons aren't clear. Again, coping isn't avoiding the damage.
Right, coping isn't thriving. That makes total sense. But here's a twist. Can you actually sleep too much? Is that even a thing?
It is, surprisingly, and it's a really interesting point. Regularly sleeping more than 9 hours consistently. That's also linked to potential problems.
Like what?
Some research associates it with decreased brain volume and a higher risk of cognitive issues like dementia. So it's not just about avoiding too little, it's about finding your sweet spot, the right amount for you.
Finding the Goldilocks zone for sleep. Not too little, not too much.
Exactly. It really shows how finely tuned our bodies are.
Okay, so if someone's listening and they're hearing themselves in these descriptions, the fatigue, the forgetfulness, maybe the mood swings, and feeling a bit overwhelmed, what's like the first practical step? What can you actually do starting tonight?
Yeah, knowledge is one thing, action is another. The absolute first step. It's a mindset shift. Prioritize sleep. Really internalize that it's a necessity, not optional. Aim for that 7–8 hours every night. Consistency is king.
Okay, mindset first, then what?
Consistent routine, same bedtime, same wake-up time, every single day. Yes, even weekends. That anchors your body clock, your circadian rhythm.
Weekends too, that's tough.
It makes a huge difference. If your current bedtime is way off, try a gradual shift. Go to bed just 15, maybe 20 minutes earlier for a few days, then nudge it again. Gentle changes.
Ease into it. Got it.
Then optimize your bedroom. Make it a sleep cave. Dark, quiet, cool, good mattress, comfy pillows, worth the investment.
The environment matters.
Hugely. Also, watch the stimulants and heavy meals. No caffeine late in the day, usually after 2 p.m. is a good rule. No giant greasy meals right before bed. And that nightcap. Alcohol might make you drowsy initially, but it fragments your sleep later on.
Ah, the alcohol trap. Makes sense.
Big one these days. Power down electronics, at least an hour before bed. That blue light messes with melatonin, and this helps fight revenge bedtime procrastination.
Revenge bedtime procrastination. I know that one. Staying up super late just to get some me time, even though you know you'll pay for it.
Exactly. It's so common. People feel they lack control during the day, so they steal time back at night, sacrificing the sleep they desperately need. It's trying to regain autonomy, but it backfires.
So instead of scrolling?
Try relaxation techniques. Find a wind-down routine. Read a real book. Listen to calm music. Deep breathing, maybe some light stretching or meditation, whatever chills you out.
Build the buffer zone before bed.
Yes. And don't forget physical activity. Regular exercise is great for sleep. Just avoid really intense workouts right before bed that can wake you up.
Okay, good tip.
And finally, if you've tried these things and you're still struggling, maybe loud snoring, can't fall asleep night after night, or you're dangerously tired during the day, please seek professional help.
Don't just suffer through it.
Absolutely not. Talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
They might suggest a sleep study to check for things like sleep apnea, or recommend therapies like CBTI, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. It's super effective at retraining your brain for sleep.
CBTI. Okay, good to know there are specific therapies. It's all really powerful stuff. It drives home that sleep isn't just downtime. It's foundational. Knowing all this, understanding the hidden impacts, that feels like the first step. Hopefully, folks listening can think about their own habits now.
Exactly. It's not just about feeling groggy. It's about not being your best self, maybe not having the energy for your kids or your passions. That why is important.
Totally.
And what's encouraging is that every little step you take towards better sleep, genuinely, it's a step towards better health, better mood, better thinking. Even small changes add up. And science keeps finding more reasons. Genetics, brain imaging, showing how vital it is.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is, what could prioritizing good, consistent sleep actually unlock for you? Not just tomorrow's energy, but your long-term health, your vitality. What's one small change you can maybe try tonight?
Yeah, just one thing to start.
We really hope this deep dive got you thinking about sleep in a new way. Definitely something worth exploring further for yourself.